everyone, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh video. In the last two videos, I went over certain cards that are either in the Elemental Hero archetype, or somewhat related to it. But there is one faction of the Elemental Heroes that I haven't mentioned yet, the Omni Heroes. Nicknamed by the fanbase, the Omni Heroes consist of 6 different Elemental Heroes, and each one represents one of the 6 main attributes in Yu-Gi-Oh! Nova Master represents fire, Absolute Zero represents water, Great Tornado represents wind, Gaia represents earth, ESCURIDAD represents dark, and the Shining represents light. All of these guys are honestly pretty good, and each of them do have their uses, but some of these guys are better than the others, so let's see how they all stack up against each other. Starting off this list is the Earth Omni Hero, Elemental Hero Gaia. So Gaia has quite a few things going against him. First, we have his effect, which is, when this card is fusion summoned, you can have the attack of one monster your opponent controls and add it to this card. Basically, he does what Dark Rebellion Dragon does, but worse, since he can't activate it whenever he wants. And he doesn't even get to keep the attack points that he steals. On top of that, most hero decks don't even use Earth Heroes, unless they are planning on using Wild Edge or Plasma Device, 2 monsters who have much better effects than Gaia. Gaia does have his uses, however, thanks to the card Super Polymerization. Basically, this card allows the user to fuse monsters on both sides of the field, and it's perfect for disrupting the opponent's combos. And since a lot of decks usually use monsters of varying attributes, you can use one of their monsters to create Gaia, or any of the Omni Heroes, to stop the opponent's plays. Aside from that, Gaia is not too great compared to the other monsters on this list. Coming in at number 5 is the Fire Omni Hero Elemental Hero Nova Master. Now compared to Gaia, Nova Master is a lot better since he has much better stats at 2600 attack and 2100 defense, and his effect, while simple, is pretty darn effective, since when he destroys a monster, you get to draw 1 card. And since hero decks usually have a bad habit of running through their hands really fast, having a card that can somewhat fix that is pretty good. The only downside that this card has is that his attribute is fire, and the only good fire effect hero that the heroes have is Blazeman, who got power crept by Vion, so running Nova Master can be a bit annoying. On the bright side, Super Polymerization does help fix this issue, since he can steal an opponent's fire monster, so it makes it easier to bring him out. I wish I could rank Nova Master higher, but sadly, the next 4 are even better. At number 4, we have the Wind Omni Hero, Elemental Hero Great Tornado. So just like Nova Master, Great Tornado's effect is simple, but effective, since when he is summoned, he has the attack and defense of all monsters the opponent controls. This effect can be really helpful in a lot of situations where the opponent has a lot of monsters out on the field with 3000 or more attack, so he can definitely put the Winds of Fate in a favorable direction for the user. On top of that, he is the Wind attribute, so bringing him out is pretty easy since Elemental Hero Stratos is used in like every single hero deck ever, so bringing him out isn't a problem at all. Finally, he works well with Super Polymerization just like every other Omni Hero. Since Dragunities are getting some really good support soon, this guy is going to be a really nice counter to them. Coming in at number 3 is the Dark Omni Hero, Elemental Hero ESCURIDAD. So I'm just gonna get this out of the way right now. The only reason ESCURIDAD got this high up is because of his attribute, since his main effect is really lackluster. Basically, he gains 100 attack for each Elemental Hero in the graveyard, and while his stats are decent at 2500 attack and 2000 defense, he's not too impressive. But, since he is of the Dark attribute, the most common attribute in the game, his synergy with Super Polymerization is fantastic, since the user can create him with basically all the popular Dark monsters in the game. Borlo and all of his variants? Check. Red Dragon Archfiend? Check. Red Eyes Dragoon? Check. Heck, since he's also Dark attribute, he can even be match changed into Darklaw, who is one of the best hero monsters in the game. Honestly, the only reason why he's not even higher is because of his effect. But on the bright side, he's still a decent monster with a fantastic attribute. Coming in at number 2 is the light attribute Omni Hero, Elemental Hero the Shining. So the reason why the Shining is so high up is mainly due to how well he works with the spell card Miracle Fusion. As Miracle Fusion has to banish monsters to bring out Elemental Hero Fusion monster, the Shining benefits from that since he gains 300 attack points for each banished hero. So if Miracle Fusion is used to bring him out, he will have at least 2,900 attack points. On top of that, if he is destroyed by an opponent's monster or card effect, he can allow the user to get 2 banished elemental heroes back to the hand. Although this effect can sadly miss timing. Finally, bring him out isn't too hard at all since a lot of hero decks use Honest Neos, a hand trap that increases the attack points of a hero monster by 2,500. So all you need to do is use him on a hero on the field, then you can use Miracle Fusion to bring out the Shining. So if Shining does get destroyed, the user can get Honest Neos and the other hero used to create him back to the hand. Overall, the Shining is one of the best Omni heroes, but there's only one that tops him. Finally, at the top of the list is the water attribute Omni Hero, Elemental Hero Absolute Zero. There's only one word that can properly describe this card, and that word is nuke. You see, Absolute Zero has 2 effects. His first one gives him 500 attack points for each water monster in the field, but his second effect is why hero decks love to use him. When Absolute Zero leaves the field, he destroys every monster the opponent controls, which makes him a living Raigeki. On top of that, there are a lot of great ways to make Absolute Zero leave the field. One is Paradox Fusion, which removes him from the field for 2 turns, but it negates a special summon of a monster or the activation of a spell trap card. Then there is the most popular strategy, which I like to call Absolute Acid. All you need to do is bring out Absolute Zero to the field, then play Mass Change to turn him into Mass Hero Acid, and then the opponent's board will have been wiped out, since when Acid is summoned, he destroys all the spell and trap cards that the opponent controls, which is awesome. Finally, there is one last useful way to use Absolute Zero, and that's just fusing him, since his effect will still be able to activate, and he will be able to get rid of annoying monsters that could be blocking the user away from victory. In the end, Absolute Zero is hands down the best Omni hero thanks to his utility, his ability to disrupt plays, and he's just a really good card. I hope you all enjoyed this Yu-Gi-Oh video because I had a really fun time making it. If anyone has any suggestions for another Yu-Gi-Oh video I should make, please leave them in the comments section. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and have a great day everyone!